It's flicked on dangerously, drops loose, brave fuzz in by O'Connell, hacked away. It's nearly time, 15 seconds.
Come on.
Ball work wide.
Yeah, there it is. It is done.
We've done it.
We are
We've done it.
Yes.
We've done it.
Yes. Madness has broken out at the racecourse. It was always going to be this way.
Speech should take the ball out of his hands.
The game is over.
Yes, it is.
You cannot secure an attempt to shot inside of 3.
That's right, guys. We're going to be using LeBron James himself to take Wrexham all the way from League 2 to the Premier League and hopefully to Champions League glory. Let's get into the season. And LeBron struggled to get his feet underneath him in preseason as he played in all 3 games and failed to get a goal or an assist. I mean, before the first game even starts, LeBron is coming to me asking to be played because he knows that he didn't perform well in preseason. And after just a few games with the team, I could tell that LeBron was not comfortable playing in this team. I mean, he was getting outshone by a long shot by his striker counterpart, Paul Mullen. And even though LeBron is much higher rated than the rest of this team, he is underperforming very, very greatly. What's best for the team isn't always what's best for LeBron, but in this case, that doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to change formations from a 5-3-2 to a 4-3-3 attack and see how that goes. That being said, we have no left or right midfielders or wingers at all in the club. The only thing we have is left and right wingbacks, which aren't going to help us. So we're going to have to go out and look for them. Luckily for us, we do have 2 wingers in our youth academy system, and we're going to call both of them up right now and probably start them right away. I want to bring in some other wingers, but the problem is whenever you're this low in the leagues, no one wants to come to you. I mean, everyone just says, oh, this player is unwilling to relocate. We're now at the very end of the transfer window, and we have been unable to find anybody that we can bring into the team. So what we're going to have to do is wait until the January transfer window, but we do have a deadline day transfer bid here for LeBron James, which we are going to reject. $35 million for a League 2 team would be pretty good. LeBron's going to be the cornerstone of this team, so we can't get rid of him. All right, so we're now midway through the season in the January transfer window, and this is where we're sitting in the table. Not too bad, but we have a lot of draws, and we really don't want that. Since we are halfway through the season, looking at LeBron's stats, he's got 12 goals and 3 assists, which really isn't that bad, but we might be expecting a little bit more from him since we are in League 2. We found another promising young winger, so we're going to call him up to the first team as well. Our transfer budget is only at $6.2 million right now, but I'm ready to make a big splash on one particular player. Yes, guys, our very first signing of the series is Nasi Univar from Ajax, and we're signing him for $5.5 million. And there it is, he slots into the team perfectly. I think the young Turkish winger is going to pair perfectly with Mr. King James himself. And you may be thinking, didn't you just put a young winger in that left wing spot in the youth academy? I did, and he has 0 goals and 0 assists through 26 games, so I'm going to get rid of him. And now that we have no more money in the transfer budget, it's time to send to the end of the season. Alright guys, we are here at the final game of the season. Let's see if we can get a win on the final day. And we do, 2-1. Now, let's find out if we won the league. We did. As we should. I mean, this team is much better with LeBron than any other team in League 2. Alright, let's go ahead and find out how well the players did in terms of goals and assists. LeBron with 29 and 12. Idris Ali with 12. And Univar with 6 and 2 in only 19 games. We'll take that for sure. We're definitely going to look to improve on some of these players next year if we can. My bad, I completely glossed over the fact that we only lost 3 games all year. What a season by Wrexham. Alright, we're just now getting into Season 2, and I saw an email come through that said they're going to be increasing our transfer budget to $9.6 million. And there it is, guys. Our first piece of business in the transfer window is bringing in Gustavo Sa from FC Famalicão, I believe is how you say it. Our second transfer of the window. I figured we should bring in an American to counterpart LeBron, so I brought in Justin Che from FC Dallas for, I believe it was $4.3 million. After the transfers of Sa and Che, we're only left with about $2 million, so I'm going to save that just in case we need it in January. Alright guys, we're at the January transfer window now. Let's see how we are in the standings. Hopefully very high up there, and we are not. We are in 9th place. Looks like we are once again drawing a lot of games, so we're really going to need to pick that up in the second half of the season. 23 points behind first place midway through the season is not great. And now that we are halfway through the season, let's check on the team stats. LeBron has only got 12 goals and 5 assists through 32 games, 8 and 4 in the league in 25 games. That's really not going to cut it for someone that's 85 overall. Ali has 11 goals and 1 assist, not bad. Univar with 6 and 5, again, not terrible. It's not a lot of production from a lot of the team. Looks like Sa has only played in 12 games, so we're going to need to look into that and try to get him some more solid game time. We're really going to need to pick it up in the second half of the season. The first piece of business we've done in this January transfer window is bringing in this young man from Southampton on a loan deal with an option to buy. Put the option to buy for 1.4 million, and we actually ended up making a second signing as well. Another loan deal with an option to buy. This time the option to buy is for $3 million. Thiago Ribeiro. And with transfer deadline day here in the January transfer window, I think I'm going to hold on to our $4 million budget because I have a feeling at the end of the season, LeBron might be wanting a pretty big pay raise. He's currently on $18,000 a week, as we know, and in real life he's about, $1 million a week. So we have made it to the end of the season, and looking at our last couple games, it looks like we did win a bunch, but let's see where we are in the standings. We finished 5th. Isn't terrible, but we were hoping for automatic promotion, but they're all going to be in the playoffs, and hopefully we can make it past the playoffs and get promoted to the championship. All right, guys, we are in the League One playoffs now. We really need to win both of these games. We can take a draw in one as long as we win the other one. First game loss and a draw in the second game means we will be staying in League One for the next season. This could be very bad. Staying in League One for another season, LeBron's already an 87 overall. He might ask to leave, and that is not going to be good. Moving on, we now have 2 player contracts that are about to expire, Ben Foster and Ben Tozer. I would love to keep Ben Foster, but he is now 41 in the game and steadily declining, so probably not going to be something we do. I'm probably just going to let him walk, become a free agent. He'll probably retire anyways. And then Ben Tozer as well, 34 years old, steadily declining. He's now a 56 overall. Don't really need to keep him around on the team. Figure out whether we not want to keep Ribeiro or Semeyu. I think what I'm going to do is look at the financials on them. Semeyu's buy option is only 1.4 million and his market value is 1.7. His market value has exceeded his buy option. Ribeiro, his buy option is 3 million and his market value is only 2.7, so he is still below his value, or his value is still below his buy options. I think I'm going to go with Semeyu. We don't have enough money to get both, or I would. We're going to let Ribeiro walk back to Monaco. I just realized that I forgot to let you know how many goals and assists LeBron had. He had 30 goals and 8 assists. You can take my word for it. A good season, but not a great season. Kind of expected a little bit more from him. We are now at the start of season 3, and I actually just went to check in our squad to see if Thiago Ribeiro is still there, and he is. And we now have the money to buy him, so I'm going to settle this buy option real quick before the season even starts, just so we have him for another year. Looking at the squad, I would say we definitely need a new goalie, and we definitely need a new left back, and hopefully we can start to get some help on the bench too, because we're looking a little not great right now. Our first signing of the summer is actually going to be a young man by the name of Lino Sosa. He came in as a free agent. He must have got dropped from Arsenal's team last year, so we got him on a free transfer for no money at all. And here it is, guys. Our second move of the summer is bringing in James Trafford from Manchester City on a loan move with an option to buy of $7 million. That is a steal if I've ever seen one, and we're getting a 74 overall goalkeeper in League One. Couldn't get much better than this. Yes, guys, our third and probably final move of the transfer window is bringing in Jack Wells-Morrison from Crystal Palace on loan as well. Unfortunately, again, all these players don't want to relocate. We're getting him on loan, and we got an option to buy for $1.7 million. All right, guys, we just got to the last game of the season, and we got a draw. Let's go see how we did in the league. And we, of course, got first place. It was inevitable. I think LeBron is up to 91 overall now, so if we didn't win the league, it was going to be pretty disappointing. I was probably going to have to end the video. We won the league pretty comfortably as well, only losing 4 games out of 46 games played. Looks like some teams haven't finished up their seasons quite yet, but we're ahead by 19 points, so I think we're okay. Go ahead and go check out on stats of the team so far this year. LeBron did not finish with the most goals scored. Idris Ali, our youth academy prospect, has got 26 goals. LeBron does have 33 goal contributions though, which is the most on the team. Unavar with 15 goals and 14 assists. That is incredible, but as you can see, it's our front 3 and then it's nobody else, so it's something we might have to look into at the beginning of next season. Now that the season's up, I want to go ahead and settle the buy options for both of our loanees. I like both of them, especially James Trafford, obviously, and $7 million for a 78 overall goalkeeper is a steal. And after settling the $1.7 million buy option, we have paid Crystal Palace, and Jack Wells-Morrison is now a Wrexham AFC player. As you can see, LeBron did win player of the season, as he should, being 91 overall. Through 3 seasons now, he has 83 goals and 29 assists. Obviously, we don't really care until he gets to the Premier League what his goal tally is. At the start of season 4 and our first season in the championship, you can clearly tell that there's some positions of need. Left center back and right center mid. We got to get somebody new in. After we sell a couple players, it looks like we're going to have about $25 to $30 million to work with for the transfer of those two positions. We've just received an offer of $29 million for Justin Che, and it says we could get up to $41.8 million for him, but I really want to keep him. I think he's going to be the right back for our future. Look at this, guys. I have just found Alessandro Fontanarosa in the free agent market. We are going to get him signed up ASAP. Nothing better than a free transfer. Am I crazy? Does this seem like a little bit too much money for someone that's only 84 rated? I mean, 152 million, potentially up to 206 million. It's very tempting. It's very tempting. I might do it just to build the team up even more. I think I am going to negotiate this deal just to see how much we really could make. 152 is obviously a lot. I'm just going to ask for more to see what we can get. 180? They're saying 153. I'm definitely not going to take. I probably should. I'm going to ask for 175, sticking to 153, and the tension's getting high. Let's see if they'll do it. And they won't do it, so we're going to keep them. Our second signing of the window is going to be Edouard Michou. We're signing him from Napoli for $12 million. He's going to be slotting perfectly into that central midfield role. So with that signing, I think this is going to be the team we're going to go with for this season. And hopefully we don't have to make any changes at the January transfer window. But if we do, I'll see you then. And if not, I'll see you at the end of the season. We have unfortunately had to get rid of Gustavo Sa. He was not happy with the fact that he wasn't getting any game time, even though I wanted him to get game time. And he forced a transfer. So now he is gone for $4 million. And so is Harrison Randall for 3.2 if you wanted to know. FIFA things. I felt like we needed to bolster our defense just a little bit here in the January transfer window, and I had one player in mind, Levi Colwill from Chelsea. He moved from Brighton to Chelsea at the beginning of this career mode, and now he is a Wrexham AFC player. Unfortunately, now that means we have $51,000 left in our budget, so we will not be able to make any more signings. I hadn't even realized how good Idris Ali was. Look at this guy's stats. He has 99 finishing, 96 shot power, 95 long shots, 96 volleys. Maybe a better striker than LeBron James is. Alright guys, we are coming down to the end of the season here. We get a win against Blackburn. I have a feeling I know where we're going to be placed in the standings based on this game that just popped up. Looks like we're in the playoffs, so we're at least 3rd through 6th. We finished in 3rd place with 88 points. Southampton with 108 points and Fulham with 99. We are in the best spot to get promoted, but we still have to fight for these 2 wins against West Brom and then another win against either Sheffield or Watford. So let's see how we go. Alright, let's simulate here and see if we can get a win against West Brom. We win the first game and we lose the second game, but we won by more than they won by. So we are into the final of the championship playoffs. Let's see if we can beat Sheffield. And we do. We are up to the Prem. Automatic promotion. Not automatic, but promoted to the Premier League 2026-2027. LeBron James is finally going to make it to the Premier League. Let's go. Looking at the stats here for the end of the season. Again, Idris Ali outscores LeBron James. LeBron with only 23 goals and 13 assists. Not great for a 93 overall in the championship. He's still performing decently well. 36 goal contributions, more than anybody else in the team. Univar with 18 and 4 and Ali with 29 goals and no assists. Crazy. Before our very first Premier League season, I feel like we should upgrade from racecourse ground. 10,000 people is just not going to cut it in the Premier League. So we're going to go with this stadium and we're going to name it King James Park and see if LeBron can bring a championship in the Premier League and maybe even a Champions League title to his own stadium. Our very first season in the Prem, we have been given a transfer budget of $84 million. There we go, guys. The first player we are bringing in this transfer window is Gianluca Busio, the United States central midfielder that was actually recruited by LeBron James himself. We currently have about $46 million left in the transfer budget. We need a right central midfielder, and I have just the guy for that. And there he is, guys. Yunus Musa, the young United States central midfielder. LeBron, again, is here to welcome him to the club. We are now in the January transfer window of our first season in the Premier League, and it's looking like we are in a relegation battle. We are 6 points clear of relegation at the moment. Anything can change in these last 17 games. And unfortunately, guys, since we are in a relegation battle, I feel like I need to sell some of my bigger players. Mainly, we're just going to sell Idris Ali because we really need the funds. As you can tell, they're offering us $111 million, and we only have $111 million in the budget after that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask for a little bit more, 130. I'll do 116. Let's meet in the middle. We'll do 120. All right, so Idris Ali is going to be sold for $120 million. And there it is, guys. Idris Ali's career here with Wrexham has come to an end, unfortunately. And there it is, guys. Our first signing after selling Idris Ali is going to be another young right winger by the name of Brennan Johnson. In this career mode, he is now at Aston Villa, but now he's going to be a Wrexham AFC player for $56 million. Our second signing after Idris Ali has left is going to be a man by the name of Jared Branthwaite. The Englishman is coming here from Everton, and we're very excited to have him here. Another big left-sided center back. And I think think that's going to do it for us here in the January transfer window. We only have 25 million left in the transfer budget, and I don't feel like that's enough to really improve upon any of the positions we currently have. So we're just going to sim to the end of the season and see how we get on. And here we go, guys. Coming down to the end of the season, we are playing Arsenal on our final game, and we end up getting a loss against Arsenal. That is unfortunate, but let's go ahead and check out the standings. And we are finishing in 10th place this year in our first season in the Premier League. That's really not that bad. Goal difference of -1. You can clearly tell our goals allowed is 67. So our defense is the problem, which we probably knew already. Our offense would not be the problem with LeBron up top. Not a bad season for our first year in the Premier League. And taking a look at the team stats for the year, again, it doesn't look like LeBron is performing as well as he should. I mean, 96 overall now at 24 years old, only scoring 21 goals and getting 5 assists. We're expecting a lot more from him, but Univar continues to improve. Brennan Johnson 7-2 in only 20 games here. And overall, we just needed more clean sheets. Unfortunately for us, Lino Sosa has been asking for a transfer away from the club for about a year now. Nottingham Forest were pretty strong in their negotiations, so we're just going to take the 11.8 million with a 2% sell-on clause and go from there. And the player we are bringing in to replace him is a young German left back by the name of Luca Netz. We're bringing him in from Aston Villa for a fee of around $40 million. We are getting $31 million for James Trafford, but it is hard to see him go as he's been with this team for a long time. I have a pretty big replacement for him, and that replacement is a man by the name of Diogo Costa. You're signing him from Juventus for a fee of around $75 million. Looking at this team, I think we should be fighting for a Champions League spot this year. I mean, the only downside of this team is that our center back pairing isn't that highly rated yet, but I think they're going to improve by the end of the year. We only have about $11 million left in the budget, but I just found Tino and Jorin in the free agent market, and we're going to get him signed up as our backup right winger. I'm pretty happy with this team for now, and I think I'm going to give them the full year to try to figure it out and see if they can make a Champions League spot. So I'll see you at the end of the season. All right, guys, we are coming down to the end of the season here, and it looks like we're having a little bit of a rough stretch right now, but let's see how we got on in the league. We finished in first place over Manchester City and Liverpool by a single point. Wow, what a season Wrexham AFC have had, winning the Premier League in our second season in the Prem. LeBron James has changed this club for the better. And we actually ended up getting second place in the FA Cup as well, losing to Manchester City in the final after beating Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, and Bournemouth to get to the final. And what a season it was from the boys. We finally had more than just our front three getting double-digit goals, as Mishu got 12 and Busio got 10. What a season from the boys. I mean, LeBron, still expecting more from him than we are getting. 24 goals, 46 games isn't that bad. 18 in the league is definitely respectable. 22-7 from Brennan Johnson, 18-4 from Univar, 12-9 from Mishu, and 10-14 from Busio. This team is looking pretty good. Bringing in Diogo Costa proves to be one of the best signings we've made all series long, as he was able to keep 13 clean sheets and lead the league in clean sheets as well. And we went from allowing 67 goals last year with James Trafford to only 42 goals allowed in the league this year. So far through 6 seasons with the club, LeBron has 151 goals and 49 assists, bringing him up to 200 goal contributions. But if I'm being honest, we're still looking to see a little bit more from him. I'm hoping to see a season in the league where he gets 30 plus goals. After winning the Premier League last season and being in the Champions League now this year, we have $192 million to work with. The one position I think we can improve upon is right central midfield. Yunus Musa is definitely a good player, but I think he could be on the bench and we can bring in someone to replace him that would be a much better player than he is. So one player I had in mind for this role was Ryan Gravenberch. We're going to offer them 125 and see what they say. And they accept. Welcome to the squad. Instead of bringing in a center back, I decided that we should bring in another right back just so we have coverage in those areas, but he can also play center back as well. So we have a new defender that can play backup in anywhere. Tomiyasu, welcome to the team. After those two signings, I feel like this team is ready to compete in the Champions League, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the final later this year. We have two very big games coming up here in the next week, with the FA Cup quarterfinal game against Liverpool and the round of 16 game against Roma, where we already drew 2-2 in the first game. So this game is the most important game of our series so far. Let's see how it goes. We really need wins in both of these. A loss in the FA Cup and a win in the round of 16. So we are on to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Oh man, we play Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I don't think we could have got a tougher opponent, but let's go ahead and see if we can get past them. I really don't have a lot of confidence in this. A 2-2 draw and a 2-1 loss. So we are out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which means we have to go again for another year. I'm confident that this team can make it to the Champions League final next year. Unfortunately, we finished in second place in the Premier League, so we failed both of our tasks of winning the Premier League and winning the Champions League this year. We allowed 52 goals this year, so it looks like our defense kind of held us back just a little bit, as we scored 84 goals, and that was the most in the league. LeBron finally had a little bit of a breakout year, scoring 29 goals in the Premier League and scoring 37 goals overall. 41 goal contributions for him is just about what we're looking for every year. Univar also brought another great season with 29 goals and 7 assists. Brennan Johnson with 18 and 7 and Gravenberch with 8 and 17 both held up their end of the deal. LeBron ended up being the Golden Boot winner, scoring 29 goals in 37 games, which landed him the Player of the Season award and being in the Team of the Season. The only thing left for him to do is to move on to season number 8 and get that Champions League final win. Here at the start of season 8, the very first player I wanted to bring in was a man by the name of William Saliba. Yes, we are bringing him back to the Premier League, and hopefully he's going to take us to Champions League glory. All right, here we go. Quarterfinals against Chelsea. Draw in the first game, please. Come on, we need this. And a loss in the second game. We are out in the quarterfinals again in the second year in the Champions League, and we lose in the semifinals of the FA Cup as well. On the bright side of things, we did win the Premier League, so that is great, but it just feels a little bit bittersweet because we didn't win the Champions League or the FA Cup. I'm only going to do this career mode for 10 seasons, and this was already season 8, so we only have 2 more chances to win the Champions League. Let's see if we can do it next year. Our leading goal scorer was Univar with 35 goals, and he also tallied 15 assists for 50 goal contributions in 54 games. That's an incredible season. LeBron with 32 and 54, not bad, but he also didn't have any assists, which is kind of weird. But we'll definitely take 32 goals out of 54 games. We want a little bit more from him. Gravenberch with 15 and 11. Brennan Johnson with 12 and 8. We're expecting more from Brennan Johnson as well. And the rest of the team did okay. At the beginning of season 9, Ryan Reynolds is bringing out all the stops. He's allowing us to have a $300 million transfer budget. We only have a couple positions to even improve on, so we're going to make very good use of this money. And we have sold Yunus Musa to make way for one very special player. And that man is none other than Jude Bellingham. We are signing him from Borussia Dortmund for $170 million. So this will be his first ever season in the Premier League. And here he is meeting his future teammate LeBron James. What a signing. To satisfy one of our team objectives, we're actually going to be replacing Levi Colwill on the bench with Sven Botman. Let's get the deal done. Alright guys, we finally made it past the quarterfinals of the Champions League knockout rounds. We beat Bayern Munich 5-0 on aggregate score, but now we have Real Madrid, so let's see if we can make it past them in the semifinals. I don't know what we did in the first game, so I'm actually going to pause it because I don't want to see... Oh, we won the first game 2-1. Okay, let's see if we can win the second game. And we win the second game 2-1. We are into the Champions League final, finally in season number 9. Unfortunately, guys, we did end up coming in second place in the Premier League, but since we're in the Champions League final, I'm okay with it. Checking out the season stats here, LeBron scored 31 goals and 5 assists in 56 games, only 19 and 3 in the Premier League, but he has 9 goals and 2 assists in 12 games in the Champions League. He's looking like he's going to be our main guy in this Champions League final. Univar with 28 and 14. He's as good as he's ever been. And Brennan Johnson with 22 and 9. Again, we're expecting a little more from him, but he did pretty good. And LeBron James is now a 99 overall. And here we go, guys. We are finally in the Champions League final, facing PSG and Mr. Kylian Mbappe. This is the moment we've been leading up to all series long. I honestly can't believe it's taken us this long to get here, but I am just happy to be here. That being said, we need to get this Champions League final trophy in our trophy cabinet. PSG's team is looking just as strong as it always ever has been, and with Mbappe leading them up front, this is going to be a very, very tough game. Our team is built for this, though. I mean, look at this squad. Everyone in this starting 11 is 90 rated or above. Our first order of business is getting some crosses in here to LeBron, but he's not able to connect. We're out here with Bellingham. We're going to come out here to Johnson again. I don't like it. Back inside to Bellingham. Oh, never mind, to Mishu. Back across here. Gravenberch. And unable to get it through with Mishu. The last thing we need is to get Mbappe on the break. Their counterattack is going to be very dangerous. We're going to go out to Johnson again. Back inside to Gravenberch. Here to LeBron. LeBron is just a little bit clunky, and he does turn it over in the middle of the field. And this is what we don't need. Mbappe on the break, but Saliba is there to cut him off. We got Nets out here. LeBron's going to send Bellingham through. And we had the opportunity to score, but Bellingham puts it wide. It was a tough shot, but we are just a few minutes into the game here, so things are looking bright. PSG is on the press now that they turned it over. Mishu back inside to Bellingham. Down here to LeBron. Does he score? Oh, and he puts it wide. What a chance. I was hoping he was going to go with his right foot there, but he went with his left. So close. LeBron's cutting a little bit too far inside, but he's here. And a save by Donnarumma. Birch. And a good save by Donnarumma. We're at least putting the pressure on him. And we're putting it on him early, too. LeBron is up here, and he makes contact, but he is unable to get it on target. Down here to Mishu. Perfect pass. We're going to get the ball out here to Johnson, and he should have squared it. Another save by Donnarumma. LeBron actually hits it with his arm. They really want to go out here to Cucurella, which I don't quite understand. Johnson with the perfect turn on Cucurella. And he's off to the races. No one steps in front of him. Let's see if he can find LeBron here on the cross. And he can't. Not a bad idea, but poor execution. Bellingham. The worldie. But it actually was a handball, so let's see if we can get a free kick here with LeBron. Might not have been enough power. And it goes wide. And that's the end of the first half here. Looking at the stats, clearly we are in control of this game. We've had plenty of chances to put away, but 80% possession against PSG is a little bit ridiculous. So far, nobody stands out in this game, but LeBron is performing very badly at the moment, so we need him to step it up in the second half. Unfortunately, I think the formation that PSG in is really hindering them from going forward really at all. They're really relying on their wingbacks for the most part right now, and LeBron might be through here. He's going to make a turn inside. And another turn, and he's going to look to find a teammate, but no one's there. Going to find Gravenberch on the edge of the box, and Gravenberch with the shot, and Donnarumma with the save. LeBron is up for it again, but not able to make contact. Univar looking for LeBron through, and LeBron is offsides, unfortunately. We're looking for Johnson. Johnson is through here. We got LeBron at the back post, and he is unable to get to it. And Donnarumma will claim it for himself. LeBron will get it out. Univar out here on the left side. Univar will make a nice move and get turned inside. He has nowhere really to go. Back inside to Bellingham. LeBron with the tap in. Pass Donnarumma, and we are up 1-0 in the Champions League final. This is 9 seasons worth of celebration right here, right now. What a pass by Bellingham and into LeBron with the perfect touch into the right corner. Donnarumma actually ended up getting a hand to it. Wow. There we go. King James in the 69th minute, baby. With the way PSG have been unable to get forward, I would say that puts us in a very good position to win this game. Knowing FIFA, I'm sure they'll turn up here in just a second. Passing it around nicely here around the box. Gravenberch with the interception, and we might be on a counter here. I'm going to go over to... Oh, it was a perfect pass to Univar, and he might be through. He's going to go with the chip, and... Oh, it's cleared off the line. What a great play by their defender. Now they're on the counterattack. Mbappe. This is exactly who we do not want on the ball right now. And Branthwaite makes the perfect interception, but we can't quite get it out. Launch it downfield, hopefully to Michu, and Michu's unable to get there. Mbappe again down here. Pedri with the long shot, and it went just wide. That was a lot closer than I expected it to be. We haven't made any switches yet. I really don't want to make any switches in case we go to extra time, because I just want to keep this team on. Our starting 11 is way stronger than theirs. Long pass down here to Cucurella. Shea in for defense, but not quite there. Get it out with Gravenberch out here to Johnson. Johnson has plenty of room to run. We're just going to keep going. Try to get a low cross into here to LeBron, and LeBron is able to get it in off the post. 2-0 in the 87th minute. We are on our way to a Champions League final win. You can see the coach celebrating with LeBron. 9 years. Look at all the fans. What a great cross in by Brennan Johnson. And LeBron with the perfect finish into the bottom left corner off the post and in. Wrexham AFC are going to win the Champions League final. What a game by LeBron James. And he's going to kick it over the top here to Univar and unable to score. What a game from LeBron. He is proving to be the best player in the world right now. Can't get a cross in, but that's going to go out for a corner, and that is game. Wrexham AFC have won the Champions League final in 2031 after 9 seasons. It was a long road to get here, all the way from League 2 to the Premier League, winning the Premier League, getting to the Champions League, getting knocked out in the quarterfinals 2 years in a row, to now winning the Champions League final. What a moment for LeBron James and Wrexham AFC. And here he comes to lift the Champions League trophy for the first time in Wrexham's history. LeBron James, Mr. King James himself. What a game, and what a player. What a player. He hasn't always been the best. He hasn't always been the most prolific in front of goal. But in this game, he stepped up when we needed him most. And LeBron will take the trophy to celebrate in front of the fans. It has been a long 9 seasons, but in this final season of this career mode, LeBron James had 33 goals and 5 assists in 57 games. Univar had 28 goals and 14 assists in 57 games, and Brendan Johnson had 22 goals and 10 assists. This team in this final year was very special as we won the Champions League final for the first time in Wrexham's history. I mean, looking at this team, there wasn't even a weak link. Even the bench players were very, very good. I don't know if there's been a team in history that's been as good as this team is in this career mode. Let me know if you think there's been any team ever that's better than this one. For this series as a whole, LeBron ended up with 253 goals and 58 assists. He was the cornerstone of this team for 9 years, all the way from League 2 to the Premier League and to Champions League glory. Is LeBron the best soccer player of all time, or is he just the greatest basketball player of all time? Let me know down below. If you've made it this far into this video, I want to thank you for watching. This is my very first YouTube video ever. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comments down below, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks. See you next time.